There are animals that don't just look strange. The more you learn about them, the more logical they seem. From creatures that lay eggs yet produce milk, to bodies shaped by evolution in ways that break every familiar rule of nature, these animals truly exist. If you don't believe it yet, let's quickly begin today's list of the 10 most bizarre animals. Let's get started. Number 10. Silky chicken Gallus domesticus. At first glance, the silky chicken looks less like a bird and more like a creature wrapped in fur. Its feathers lack the rigid structure typical of birds and instead grow soft, fluffy, and hair-like, giving it an almost mammalian appearance. This unusual trait alone makes the silky feel strangely out of place among other poultry, but the oddities do not stop there. Beneath those soft feathers, the silky possesses dark blue to black skin, bones, and connective tissue, a condition known as fibromelanosis. This genetic trait causes excessive pigmentation throughout the body, a feature rarely seen in birds. Even the comb and internal organs appear unusually dark. From a biological perspective, these traits are not evolutionary adaptations for survival in the wild. The silky is a domesticated breed, shaped by selective breeding rather than natural selection. Humans favored these unusual characteristics, unintentionally amplifying traits that would be disadvantageous in nature. The silky chicken shows how human influence can push biology into unfamiliar territory. It may not come from another planet, but it certainly looks like something evolution would not have designed on its own. Number 9. Pygmy marmoset Chebuella pygmea. The pygmy marmoset looks less like a primate and more like a living toy. Barely larger than a human hand, this tiny monkey holds the title of the smallest primate in the world. Its oversized eyes, claw-like nails, and high-pitched vocalizations make it feel strangely unreal, almost artificial. Native to the rainforests of the Amazon basin, pygmy marmosets live high in the forest canopy. Unlike most monkeys, they rely heavily on tree sap rather than fruit. Their sharp lower teeth are specially adapted to gouge holes into bark, allowing them to feed on sap, gum, and resin. This feeding strategy is extremely rare among primates. Evolutionarily, their small size offers advantages. They require less food, move quickly through thin branches, and avoid many large predators. However, it also makes them fragile, highly sensitive to environmental changes, and dependent on stable forest ecosystems. The pygmy marmoset shows that intelligence and primate traits do not require size. In this case, evolution miniaturized complexity, compressing an entire primate blueprint into a form that looks almost unreal. Number 8. Indian purple frog Nasicobatrachus sayadrensis. The Indian purple frog looks like something excavated from another era or another planet. Its round, bloated body, tiny eyes, pointed snout, and purple-gray skin give it an appearance unlike any typical frog. Even more unsettling is the fact that it spends almost its entire life underground. This species is native to the Western Ghats of India, one of the world's oldest mountain ranges. The purple frog is a fossorial specialist, meaning it is adapted for burrowing. Its strong limbs and streamlined body allow it to live beneath the soil, surfacing only a few days each year to breed during the monsoon season. Evolutionarily, this frog represents an ancient lineage that split from other frogs over 100 million years ago. Its isolation preserved traits that look primitive and unfamiliar compared to modern frogs. Instead of leaping or swimming, it feeds underground by extending its long, tubular tongue to catch termites. The purple frog shows that evolution does not always move forward in visible ways. Sometimes survival means disappearing beneath the surface, allowing ancient forms to persist, unnoticed, for millions of years. Number 7. Jackson's chameleon Trioceros jacksoni. Jackson's chameleon looks like a reptile designed by imagination rather than evolution. Its most striking feature is the presence of 3 horn-like protrusions on its head, giving it an appearance closer to a miniature dragon than a lizard. Combined with independently rotating eyes and a slow, mechanical movement, this species feels distinctly alien. Native to the highland forests of East Africa, Jackson's chameleon lives in cool, misty environments unlike those of most chameleons. The horns are not weapons but evolved primarily through sexual selection. Males with larger, more symmetrical horns are more successful in dominance displays and mating, even though the horns offer little advantage in survival. Like other chameleons, it possesses a highly specialized tongue that can extend more than twice its body length to capture insects with remarkable accuracy. Its color-changing ability is not mainly for camouflage, but for communication signaling stress, aggression, or reproductive readiness. Jackson's chameleon shows that evolution can exaggerate form beyond practicality. Some traits exist not because they help survive, but because they help be chosen. Number 6. Saiga Antelope. Saiga tatarica. The Saiga antelope looks like a mammal wearing a mask from another world. Its most disturbing feature is its oversized, bulbous nose that hangs over the mouth, giving it an almost cartoonish yet unsettling appearance. This bizarre structure is not a deformity, it is a highly specialized evolutionary adaptation. Saigas inhabit the vast grasslands and semi-deserts of Central Asia, where extreme temperatures, dust storms, and long migrations define survival. The enlarged nasal cavity acts as a biological air filter, warming cold air in winter and filtering dust during summer migrations. It also helps regulate moisture loss during long-distance travel. From an evolutionary perspective, this nose allowed saigas to thrive in harsh open landscapes where few large mammals could survive. However, this same specialization makes them vulnerable. Rapid environmental change and human pressure have pushed the species to the brink of extinction. The Saiga antelope shows that evolution can produce forms that look absurd to humans but are perfectly engineered for extreme conditions. What appears grotesque is often the result of precision, not error. If the species you've seen so far already felt strange, the names coming next will go far beyond appearance alone. From this point on, evolution stops being subtle and begins to completely break the familiar rules of nature. Number 5. Malayan tapir. Tapirus indicus. The Malayan tapir looks like an animal assembled from mismatched parts. Its body appears painted in stark black and white, as if divided deliberately, while its short legs and flexible snout give it a silhouette unlike any other large land mammal. At first glance, it resembles a creature designed rather than evolved. Native to the rainforests of Southeast Asia, the Malayan tapir is the largest of all tapir species. Its unusual coloration is not decorative. The sharp contrast functions as disruptive camouflage, breaking up the animal's outline in low light and dense vegetation. At night, its body shape becomes difficult to recognize, even at close range. The tapir's elongated, prehensile snout acts as a combined nose and grasping tool, allowing it to pull leaves, fruits, and aquatic plants with surprising precision. Evolutionarily, this flexible structure bridges traits seen in both elephants and anteaters, despite no close relation. The Malayan tapir reminds us that evolution does not aim for beauty or symmetry. Sometimes survival produces forms that look artificial because nature only cares about what works. Number 4. Narwhal. Monodon. Monoceros. The narwhal is often called the unicorn of the sea, and its appearance makes the nickname feel literal. From its head extends a long, spiraled tusk that can reach over 3 meters, transforming an otherwise ordinary-looking whale into something mythical and unsettling. This tusk is not a horn, but an elongated canine tooth that grows straight through the upper lip. For centuries, its purpose was misunderstood. Modern research reveals that the tusk is packed with millions of nerve endings, making it one of the most sensitive sensory organs in the animal kingdom. It can detect changes in water temperature, pressure, and salinity. Narwhals inhabit the icy Arctic waters, where visibility is low and survival depends on detecting subtle environmental changes. The tusk may help them navigate, locate prey, and assess conditions beneath the ice. The narwhal shows that evolution can repurpose structures in extreme ways. What looks like fantasy is actually a highly specialized biological instrument, proof that reality can be stranger than myth. Number 3. Giant Anteater Myrmecophaga tridactyler. The giant anteater looks like a biological contradiction. It has no teeth, yet survives as a specialized predator. Its skull is long and tubular, its mouth tiny, and its tongue can extend over 60 centimeters faster and more flexible than most reptiles. Combined with oversized claws that resemble weapons, this animal appears more engineered than evolved. Native to Central and South America, the giant anteater feeds almost exclusively on ants and termites, consuming tens of thousands each day. Instead of chewing, it uses its sticky tongue to trap insects, while powerful stomach muscles grind them internally with swallowed sand and soil. Its massive forelimbs serve two purposes: tearing open insect nests and acting formidable defenses. When threatened, the anteater rears up and can inflict lethal wounds with a single strike. Despite its awkward appearance, it is not defenseless. The giant anteater demonstrates how evolution can strip away familiar traits and replace them with extreme specialization. What looks alien is actually the result of relentless optimization for one task, feeding efficiently in a narrow ecological niche. Number 2. Proboscis monkey Nassalis larvatus. The proboscis monkey looks like a primate designed with the wrong proportions. Its most unforgettable feature, the enormous, drooping nose of adult males, so large it can hang over the mouth, reshaping the entire face into something almost surreal. Combined with a swollen belly and long limbs, it feels less like a monkey and more like a strange prototype of evolution. This species is found only on Borneo, living in mangrove forests, riverbanks, and swampy lowlands. Its odd appearance is closely tied to biology. The oversized nose is driven by sexual selection. Females tend to prefer males with larger noses, and the nose also amplifies vocal calls, making the male sound deeper and more dominant. In dense, muddy forests where visibility is limited, sound becomes a social weapon. Their large belly is not fat, it is fermentation. Proboscis monkeys eat leaves and unripe fruits, and their expanded gut houses microbes that break down tough plant material. The proboscis monkey shows how evolution can shape bodies for communication and diet, not elegance. Sometimes, strange is simply what works best in a very specific world. Number 1. Platypus ornithorhynchus onotinus. The platypus is often described as a biological paradox, and for good reason. It has the bill of a duck, the tail of a beaver, the body of an otter, and yet it is a mammal. It lays eggs, produces milk, senses electricity, and in males, delivers venom through spurs on its hind legs. Native to eastern Australia and Tasmania, the platypus hunts underwater with its eyes and ears closed, relying entirely on electroreception to detect the muscle contractions of prey. This ability is so precise that it can locate insects buried beneath riverbeds without seeing or hearing them. From an evolutionary perspective, the platypus belongs to one of the oldest surviving mammal lineages. It represents a branch of evolution that split off before mammals fully committed to live birth. Rather than being an evolutionary mistake, it is a living record of early mammalian experimentation. The platypus earns the top spot because it breaks nearly every rule we use to categorize animals. It does not look unfinished, it looks like evolution never bothered to simplify it. So do you believe it now? Nature is constantly changing, and plants and animals are forced to evolve continuously in order to survive and adapt to their environments. That ongoing process is what creates the incredible diversity and richness of life on Earth. What about you? Which species do you find to have the most impressive evolution? Or do you know an animal that is even more bizarre? Share your thoughts in the comments so we can discuss together.